Hello there. Today I am in Washington, D.C. at
Elements Fitness and Wellness Center.
And this is Justine Bernard, Master Trainer and the studio owner. I was just here over the weekends teaching the Wing Master course, and as long as I was here I thought I'd have a nice conversation with Justine because what she does here at Elements is different than pretty much every gyrotonic studio in the country. So how about a little bit about your background?
My background. So I started studying gyrotonic and gyrokinesis in about 1994. I was on scholarship at Alvin Ailey, and part of the program was the yoga for dancers with Hillary. So that's my first introduction to gyrokinesis. And then I stupidly thought that I should not take that class and instead take another ballet class or another gram class. And so I stopped the gyrokinesis and I took another technique class and destroyed my back.
Oh.
So my friend Alice Diamond said, you have to go see Lita at Studio Riverside for gyrotonic. So I went there and I was sold. It fixed my back. I tried chiropractors, I tried everything, and it was gyrotonic that did it.
Were you working primarily with Lita?
Primarily with Lita. I did my foundation with Juliu.
Mm-hmm.
And
yeah, because when you did it, there wasn't even really a course yet.
No, it was a list of exercises. Yeah. And then Lita was very generous, and she paid for all of her staff to get certified in gyrokinesis.
Wow.
So she was a very generous studio owner. So then I became gyrokinesis, I think in 97.
Okay.
And then, this is my theory, I don't know, but Juliu left us, as I say. He moved on to Miami and Germany. And so a lot of the teachers started finding other sources of information. So one went to acupuncture, massage, back to graduate school. And so that's when I decided to become a physical therapist.
Now, what inspired you to become a physical therapist?
Partly because I wanted some science behind the art. Yeah, that was the main part of it, because there was a lot of injured people coming to Studio Riverside.
Yes.
And they would have a diagnosis, and I wouldn't really know what that meant.
Yeah.
You know, they'd be like, "Oh yeah, I tore my meniscus." I was like, "Okay, I think
What's a meniscus?
I think we're supposed to do the knee series because that's what Julie told us to do." And now Julie's gone, so I have no one to ask. So I really needed more information. I felt for my own being, and so then I went back to grad school and became a PT.
Right on. And what year were you officially licensed? It's a license. When were you licensed to be a PT?
In 2004.
Okay. So that was all
2002.
That was still all in New York.
That was all in New York.
Okay, so when did the move to Washington happen?
So I was actually born and raised in DC.
Okay.
And I had a little baby when I was in grad school. And so I needed a village, so I came back home.
Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Did you start your own studio right away?
No, I worked at a place called Studio Infinity, and I was teaching there, and I became a gyrotonic master trainer while I was there.
Okay.
Yeah. And then...
And what year was that you became a master trainer?
I think it was 2007.
Okay.
Yeah. And that was gyrotonic. It took me a while to do gyrokinesis.
Okay.
I think it took me about...
Yeah, well, you were busy.
Long
You got a baby, you got a PT, all that.
And the formats, the choreography, I had to get it like in my brain. So it took me a while. But I just became a gyrokinesis master trainer last year.
Oh, right on. Still working, still growing,
Still growing.
Okay, so then your studio is unique in that you actually do physical therapy here, not just corrective training like I do, but actual physical therapy.
Yes.
So obviously that was the entire goal of going to school back in New York, but when you started your studio here, was it just you? Did you have other people?
Right. I opened with just me. I was the only physical therapist.
Mm-hmm.
And then we had about 4 gyrotonic teachers at the time. And then I had more patients than I could handle. And then we also started accepting Medicare. So we take Medicare insurance, and we're out of network for all the other insurances. So at that point, I needed more PTs.
Okay.
And so I was lucky enough to get on several universities' lists, and people can do their internships and residencies here.
For physical therapy, okay.
But I require that you're a gyrotonic teacher in order to do your residency here.
Okay.
So, but you can just be an apprentice. You don't have to be the fully certified. Right. So then I found a couple PTs who have moved on. One's in Boston, one's in Utah. But Jenny April, who's a gyrotonic teacher, gyrokinesis teacher, and physical therapist, I got that route from being a student here, and then I hired her. And then a client was a pediatric physical therapist, and then she loved Gyrotonic and did the training, and then I hired her, and she switched to orthopedics.
Pardon me for a moment.
Yes. So now we have 6 physical therapists who are also Gyrotonic
That's pretty cool. And
certified.
only one of them was a PT first.
Correct. Sorry, no, sorry.
The other way around, right?
The other way around.
Only one of them was
Yes.
a Gyrotonic trainer first, right?
Yes.
So you and
Jenny April.
were the Gyrotonic first, then went to PT school.
Yes. Yes.
And the rest were PTs. Now, did they become Gyrotonic trainers just to be able to take their internship here, or did they happen to, like, did all the people who were here take their internship here as well?
No.
Okay.
No. So actually, Rosalie started with me here as well. She was physical therapy, Gyrotonic, and she started back in 2007 when I opened. She was, she was also PT Gyro. So
Okay.
I lied. There was 2 of us.
Okay.
And so 2 people actually started working here, and they were apprentices.
Okay.
So they had just done their foundation or started their foundation soon after they started working here. So, for example, Michelle, she's PT, but she's also yoga and acupuncture.
Right.
So I hired her, and she started as physical therapy acupuncture, and then she did the teacher training.
Okay.
Yeah. And Lisa's a part-time PT here who is an apprentice now, so she also did our training.
If you had to estimate,
Yeah.
what percentage of your clientele are patients and which are clients?
Right. It's we have 40% physical therapy,
Okay.
40% private, and the rest other. So students, groups.
Oh, okay, right, okay.
So 20% do other.
Classes, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, right on.
Yeah.
And where do you see it going from here? You're going to be here for a while.
I just signed an 11-year lease.
Wow, that's a long lease.
We are here for
Well,
a
you
while.
you just expanded this space
Yes.
very recently.
So we opened 2007 it was 2,700 square feet, and we just added another 1,400 square feet.
Oh, so you're 2,100 square feet. If you add 7 and added 14.
We were 2,700, and now we added.
You were 2,700. Oh wow, this is much bigger than I thought.
Yeah, it's pretty big.
It's hard to tell with all the separate. There's a lot of. There's how many treatment rooms?
5 treatment rooms.
5 separate treatment rooms. So kind of it's hard to tell the size.
It's yeah. When you lift up the walls, it's bigger than it looks.
So then you've got 6 PTs, and then how many just regular Gyrotonic trainers who don't do PT at all?
I should know this. Let's see. We have,
I mean, I know how many are in my studio. 1.
I think we have about 12.
Oh, you've got a pretty large studio. It's one of the larger ones in general.
It's a pretty busy studio.
Yeah.
But we're very lucky. I mean, we have my front desk teacher, Stephanie. She's Gyrotonic teacher, and then she's Gyrokinesis apprentice.
Right.
So sometimes she'll be, on the phone, like, we're double booked. Now you have to put on a different hat and run teach gyrokinesis and so it's really helpful. And then
Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah.
As opposed to having a front desk person who's like, hi, I'm a front desk person.
Right. And Julia, my manager, who I couldn't do this without her, I hired her as a manager, and then she loved the work because she became Gyrotonic, then gyrokinesis, and now she's also a massage therapist. So so even though I have a ton of teachers, what my point was, they don't work a lot of hours.
Okay.
So I have about 6 of us who work, this is our full-time job.
Okay.
And the rest are kind of
Doing other
they
stuff,
still
right?
say they have real jobs, and they come here and teach.
Yeah.
So some of them still have other jobs.
Now, on a whole separate note, Justine also teaches a 3-day teacher training for Gyrotonic instructors on...
Osteoporosis.
Well, what's the title of your course?
Gyrotonic applications for osteoporosis.
Whole different conversation, because that would be like a bigger thing, but that was basically the root of my wanting to talk to her, because only person I personally know who's a physical therapist / Gyrotonic instructor and has multiple Gyrotonic instructor physical therapists at their studio. It's actually a little bit more prevalent in Europe that Gyrotonic is used within physical therapy studios, correct?
As far as because of Paul's work.
But then in the United States, it's
very rare. There's a handful. I think there's someone in upstate New York and someone in Atlanta or in Georgia somewhere.
Okay.
But there's and well, Rita's in Brazil, so it's
Right,
gonna,
Rita,
yeah.
yes. Oh, right, the trainer in New York is friends with Rita, yes.
Yes. So there are a handful of us, and I think it's growing because I went up to New York City and someone said, "Oh, I'm applying for PT school," and then another trainer from New York, just came and visited us because before you go to PT school, you need volunteer hours
Okay.
at different clinics. So she came and volunteered here to apply to PT school. So I think several more Gyrotonic instructors are reaching out and going through the PT
Right
program.
on. That's excellent.
It's exciting.
I have no desire to go to school anymore, so I'm not.
Oh, there's also Natalie, who I went to PT school with at Columbia, and she took some sessions with me, and now she's Gyro PT out in LA.
Oh, okay, excellent.
Yeah.
Natalie,
Immersec?
okay, don't know her, but
Yeah.
you never can tell.
But she was a PT first and then Gyro.
So if you happen to be in the Washington, D.C. area and you want to just do Gyrotonic training, come on down to Elements. And if you've got an injury where you've got a prescription for some PT, also come to Elements Training Center. If you're a Gyrotonic trainer and you want to learn more about using Gyrotonic for osteoporosis, get in touch with Justine. Otherwise, just come to Washington anyway. You know, It's a nice place.
We also have lots of courses for master trainers.
Oh,
Like
that's
Deborah
right. This is
Rose
also
training.
this studio is the
East Coast certifying.
Thank you.
Yeah, East Coast Gyrotonic Gyrokinesis certifying.
There's a lot of towers here. It's a big studio. And so master trainers come through, they do teacher trainings on all the equipment. So this is a very busy place. There's lots of things going on. Not like my studio. I got one tower. So thank you first off so much for having me for those last weekend.
It's a great course. Take it.
Yeah, toot my own horn. So thank you very much for having me. Thanks for talking, and thank you for watching.
Thank you.
Great.